A large crowd of family, friends and dignitaries came together at St. George's Cathedral in Cape Town on Wednesday, 4th of February, for the funeral of former South African politician, anti-apartheid activist and more recently Burundian peace facilitator Jan van Eck, who died on Tuesday, 27th January. Becoming politically active in the 1970s, Jan van Eck later became a member of the provincial government and throughout the 80s sought to expose and fight the injustices of apartheid while serving as an MP for the Progressive Federal Party. He became a member of the ANC once the party was unbanned in 1990 and served as an MP in 1994. In 1996, however, he chose to leave South African politics to take on a new challenge, facilitating peace in Burundi. Jan van Eck will be remembered as someone who cherished the ideals of peace and democracy and who made a difference in the fight for justice both in South Africa and Burundi.
He was not a party man and he wanted to be in the trenches. He worked at grassroots level. And he would go into the townships any time of the day or night to actually monitor police brutality because so much information was banned. What kept Jan going was his sheer obstinance and stubbornness. And he was so focused. Nothing could take him off the path that he had chosen for himself. He was driven by passion. He was driven by the need for justice and reconciliation in our country. And that is what kept him going. The ideals that he strove for, the honesty that he had in his heart, and the need and the desire to expose that to the nation and to the world. And for that, I honor him.
As I said, Jan van Eck, from the time I first met him, when he started Nuremberg, had a roller coaster political career. He has been described as a loner, he's described as a maverick, and he also described himself as something of a Don Quixote. One or all of these descriptions of Jan van Eck may be appropriate, but there's one description that stands beyond all question, and that he was an uncompromising opponent of the Nationalist Party and its policy of apartheid. He looked for real solutions, not for slick answers. He took politics seriously. To him it was not a game, it wasn't a path to wealth, his vision wasn't for self-aggrandizement, but he saw it as an opportunity to try to put right those things in our country that he knew were wrong, that would be cried out to put right.
He was a giant in many ways. Apart from being physically tall, he always walked tall. He was fearless and feisty and had great political savvy. He was always impeccably groomed and well prepared for debates, but equally able when thinking on his feet and equally fluid in Afrikaans and English. He was a target of the Nats' derision because he was so able, and they constantly called his patriotism into question.
Although Jan was an informal facilitator, it is thanks to his commitment, dedication, and the natural streak of stubbornness that he managed to gain the trust of all parties involved in the conflict, from the political top brass to the grassroots people. No formal facilitator could ever have dreamt of achieving the success he did. In my view, shared by many Burundians, I believe Burundi is now a better place thanks to Jan's tireless efforts. Jan was a man who would undertake a journey at the drop of a hat. And once again, when fate beckoned this time around, he could not but go along. May the angels that look after him throughout his perilous journeys on earth now walk alongside him on this new journey. Ambagatle Umushingantai.
Our God has a tremendous sense of humor. Who would imagine that an Afrikaner would go and be a peacemaker all the way in Burundi? Machtig. Fantastic.
everyone knows him as the politician. And to us, he was the, the rough rugby watching, giving you a clap on the shoulder, dancing like an ostrich. He's going to kill me for saying that.
He will.
But, my dad, under all of his politics, was just a real down-to-earth dad who you could just speak to about anything and everything.
So it was actually funny because, I always asked as a child, like, where was he? What's the deal? He's always away. And I always said, did he care? And, it was only through maturing into the man I am today that I actually realized that he was a father to more than just his own children, but to many other children out there and many other human beings out there that needed his strength and his leadership and his guidance in very tough times, especially during the 80s where our country was in turmoil. And that's what he was, and that's what he stood for so many people. Yeah. It was an honor and a privilege to have him as a father.
Yeah, as a dad.
As a dad.
He is our dad.